You are genuinely a fan of the books and the game and everything. Apparently, on set, you know more than anyone else.
I wouldn't necessarily say anyone else, but I'm a big fan.
Yes.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. So do you correct people?
I don't necessarily... I am effusive about getting the... being loyal to the source material. Let's put it that way.
OK. Yeah. So, yes, you do. You do fly your nerd flag with pride.
Yes.
Now, one of your hobbies, and he's got a lot of them, ladies and gentlemen, one of your hobbies is you paint...
Makes me sound weird.
Well, you do have more hobbies than the average man, I'd say. But you paint... Is it World of Warcraft?
Warhammer.
Warhammer, I'm a fool.
Yep. It's Warhammer, Greg.
OK, Warhammer. So what... So you paint by hand?
Yes, yeah.
Does everyone do that, or can you buy them already painted?
No, you have to paint them, but it's just how much effort you put into it.
And you put a lot of effort.
There's the painting, modelling side of the hobby, and then there's the gaming side of the hobby.
OK. And when you paint them, what do you do with them then, Henry?
Then you put them together in little armies and you fight against someone else's army. It is fun.
Oh,
I mean,
very
it sounds
fun.
ridiculous, but it is fun.
Yeah, no, toys, very good fun. A lot's been made about Superman's disguise as Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And how really light it is. It's a very light disguise.
Seemingly so.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, I've got the glasses, so if you just pop them on so we can see the difference that the glasses make, just pass them down. Here we go.
Prepare to be amazed.
Where's Henry gone? That's really creepy, crazy. Is it like...
It's even creepy when you say it in that voice.
Because it is one of those things, it's amazing that they haven't come up with some sort of backstory or, like, you kind of think in 2016 they wouldn't just put you in some glasses and say, and no one will know who you are. But actually, didn't you do an experiment?
I did indeed. Yeah, to be a counterpoint to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
To just prove you wrong, in fact. A friend of mine and I were discussing the idea of these glasses not being good enough disguise. And we decided to go to Times Square to test the theory. I wore a Superman T-shirt and no glasses and stood underneath the giant wraparound Batman v Superman posters in Times Square.
I think we've got a picture. Oh, there you are.
There you go.
Yeah.
And took a bunch of other photos and some video as well, and got stopped twice. Once by someone exiting the subway asking for directions to Central Station. And the other time was in a coffee shop where someone said, "Could you please stop taking photos?" And that was it.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's apparently very easy to do.
Can I say, you just really,
that,
you look really
incredibly boring
comfortable. You look
face.
really comfortable in those glasses.
And smart.
Yeah, oh, for once.
But now, for all these roles, you have to be in amazing shape. So was The Witcher the same, where you just have to kind of shred?
Yes. The training for these kind of things, the most important thing is your own health. It's so you can stay physically fit without injuries while doing all these crazy things like being thrown against pillars or jumping out of airplanes. That's what it really is for. I mean, yes, you're supposed to look a certain way aesthetically, especially if you're getting a shirt off, but it's mostly for just staying healthy.
But the weird thing is, and this doesn't sound very healthy, if you're doing one of those shirt things, you can't...
Shirtless.
Shirtless.
Yes.
If you're doing a shirtless scene, what's that? You have to dehydrate yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst part of it. Like, diet is difficult, and you're hungry, but when you're dehydrating for 3 days, you get to the point on the last day where you can smell water, like, nearby.
So why do you do that? To get super toned?
It makes your skin really thin, so it sits on the muscles.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
So if you've got a scene with your top off, because Bryn came out of the sea in Gavin and Stacey, I did not dehydrate for 3 days. I think I had a Fanta, didn't I, before I did it? So you're going to be dehydrating.
Yes.
I was in good shape.
Yeah.
So you and then it makes it all. Oh.
Yeah.
But for 3 days, that can't be good.
That's not
for you.
healthy.
It's not no water for 3 days.
Okay.
On the first day, you'll have like 1.5 liters, and the second day, half a litre, and then the third day, no water, and you'll shoot the fourth.
And the funeral is on the 6th day.
Sometimes they don't shoot the scene till the end of the fourth day as well. And so you're the most miserable person on the planet.
Can't speak. Now, Henry, that picture we were looking at the top of the show there.
Yeah.
Now, what you posted it. I didn't go looking. You posted that picture. And in fairness, if I looked like that, I'd be sitting with my top off right now. But, now, you posted it on Facebook, didn't you?
Yes, Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, yeah, somebody did. And, well, the comments were...
That's actually from my Facebook page.
It's your goal.
I was going to do worse than that. No matter what, I was going to do less than that. Yeah. Do not exceed this.
The comments on Facebook, though, I love that people, like, bother to put these things. I think I just wet my panties. This next person, I have the weirdest boner right now. We're hoping that's a man.
I want to know what was weird about it.
I know. And then this one, I just love this one. This is just, holy sweet little 7-pound baby Jesus.
What does that even mean?
Happy Easter? I don't know. And Henry, you know, Henry, huge star now, but there was a bit in your career where you kind of were going to give up, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was...
last week.
Yeah, that's today. Yes, there was... I think early on in my career, I got the Count of Monte Cristo and then a couple of movies after that, and then I was auditioning. I was always aiming for leading roles, and getting all the right things were being said to me afterwards by the casting directors and saying, you were great, the best person who walked in the room, but you're not a name, and we need a name. And so that was a thing, and I thought, well, this feels a bit like a Catch-22 scenario, and I became a little bit disenchanted with the whole thing, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to give it a little bit more time, and then I'm going to follow my original course, which was go join the armed forces. And it was then that I got the Bond screen test. And that was the thing which put me in Variety, and then my name was in Variety, and then more people started pursuing me, and it became a bit more... I was not a name as such, but I had at least been printed in Variety.
Well, also, the fact that you got so close, I mean, made you kind of a player, I guess. People were...
Sort of. I mean, if they were interested, then there was a chance that I had something.
Oh, Henry, I don't know if you know this, but the Bond position is vacant.
Hold on, mate. Hold on.
That's why you're wearing glasses. I mean, I have to ask you, are you in the running? Have you put yourself out of the running? If they came a-calling, would you say yes?
I would definitely have a conversation. I think there's...
Lunch? Possibly a lunch?
Lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I understand, there's very, very early conversations happening up top at MGM and with Barbara and Mike, but there's no list as such yet. So I
There's
think...
no list, Tom.
I was like,
There's
how
no
do
list.
you know that?
I read it on the internet.
Googled it.
Yeah, right.
Henry Cavill, James Bond.
Is Henry Cavill next Bond? In Hollywood, everyone's auditioning, or in the acting industry, everyone's trying to get a role, and they're not necessarily getting them. And so, to get an opportunity to be in the limelight by missing out on the big roles is actually a good thing, as opposed to a bad thing. And I count my lucky stars for each one of those.
OK. You're turning it into a positive. It still sounds quite shit to just lose jobs all the time. It's like, no, didn't get it again. That's great. But it's great for my profile. I'm the guy who never works. Because wasn't Twilight written for you?
Oh, well, hey, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. Or you can. I think the writer of the books, when the movie came around, I think I was her first choice. I think. That's the rumour I heard. And she wanted me to play the role, but it wasn't up to her. And instead, you know, a very talented actor played it instead.
Wow. Who will remain nameless. Not that he's angry.
Wealthy and famous, but nameless.
In Twilight. All the Twilights. He's in there.
Be in the remake.
Henry, you're probably not going to miss your face furniture. You're not fond of the face furniture, are you?
Oh, it's not that I'm not fond of it. It's just that, you know, if I'm walking past schools, people give me funny looks. It's tough to buy vans. Can't give children sweeties.
Because you normally do that a lot.
Long enough? Why not?
Hey, guys, I'm Superman. Come get some sweets.
I'm not a stranger, I'm Superman.
I think he rocks it really. Very few men can carry that off. But
No, it's very good. Mind you, but do you know what that's annoying about that? Is that's like if Henry Cavill wore a stupid hat, you would think, oh, that stupid hat looks really good on him. And it's not that. Just he looks really good. And you put it on, it's a stupid hat.
Yeah.
What was your nickname at school?
My nickname in school was Fat Cavill. Which was a very apt nickname, considering my name was indeed Cavill and I was indeed fat.
But like, how largy were you?
I mean, my dad always said from the age of about 13, I stayed the same weight until I was 25. I just got taller.
OK, so you were enormously fat at 13.
I don't know about enormously fat.
You were
but
morbidly
definitely-
obese. You could have died.
Right.
But now, the odd thing about kind of this movie is that Russell, you met Fat Cavill.
He definitely wasn't Fat Cavill when I met him at 16, no. But we were shooting here in London a movie called Proof of Life in 2000. And there was the opening sequence of the film was shot at Stowe College, you know. And we went out there and there was a kid there called Merlin Hanbury Tennyson who was playing my son. And in a break of the shooting, you know, which was actually, there was a rugby union game going on and there was one kid on that field who was very fluid and in control. So it actually caught my eye and I was watching it. Then that kid that was fluid and in control came over to have a chat. But all his questions were about acting, you know. And there was just a smile in his eyes, but there was something dead serious behind that smile. So instead of not answering the questions or whatever, because you get answers to these questions 100,000 times, I told him the truth, you know, in the brief moment that I had with him. And put it in front of him that, you know, it's a challenge that's up to him, you know. Nobody's going to give it to you. A couple of days later, I was putting a package together for the kid who played my son, because I figured the greatest thing if you're at boarding school must be unexpected mail, right? You know?
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll put one together for that other bloke. And I remembered his name because he'd been very clear when he said it. He didn't say, hi, I'm Fat Cavill, but he did say, hi.
You should have done that. Wouldn't have the same sort of, you know, power to the message, would it?
Yeah.
Dear Fat Cavill.
So, and what I
Fat Cavill is Superman.
It's very interesting because I had two of the same photographs, and for the one that I wrote for Merlin, I put on it, you come from a long line of generals. There's a photograph from Gladiator. He went and joined the army. 3 tours of Afghanistan later, and now he does close personal security here in London.
Wow.
And on Henry's, I put, journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Basically, you know, if you want it, you go and get it, you know?
Yeah.
12 years later, and it was probably 3 months into working together, you know, I finally said to him, do I know you from somewhere? And he got this little smile in his eyes and he went, do you remember going to Stowe School? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, do you remember a kid that came and talked to you about acting? I went, yeah. Yes, that's me. I said, really? What did I say? And he said, well, you said they pay you pretty well, but they treat you like shit. And I said, yes, Henry. That's exactly what I said. How are you?
True. That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
That is so weird.